There's a website called gong.io. Write that website down, gong.io. What I love about this website and the company, like I said, I interviewed the director and I got a chance to also interview the CEO, Amit Bendoff, from this company, Gong.io. And the reason I love this company is, first of all, look at that's their website. It's already funky. I love that. That's cool. These guys are really funky. They're different. And one of the things they do is that they analyze conversations. That's their big thing, right? They analyze conversations to really prove or disprove a lot of theories we have about what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what to mention, what not to mention. Instead of guessing at it, these guys actually analyze conversation data. And so last week, or earlier this week rather, there's a report that came out. And I looked at it, I go, oh, I got to share it with my Sales After Dark crew, right? And so this is based, I don't know if you can read that here. Let me just kind of zoom in so you can maybe see this. Hold on a second. Let me zoom in. And it's going to be right there. It's based on, look at this. It's based on 500,000 calls. So this is not anecdotal evidence. This is not an opinion that you're about to get. These are not opinions. These are analysis done on over 500,000 calls. And so what I want to do is I kind of want to just go through what they offer or what they've stated in the report. And this is all about pricing. This is all about pricing. And some of the data in there is quite eye-opening. And so check this out. Let's talk win rates. All right, now we're going to get into some money. Let's talk win rates. So this was interesting. Number 6. Win rates are highest when budget is discussed on the first call. Boom. Now, this is interesting. This is like really interesting. I don't know if you get excited about this, but I do because this is like cool data backing up stuff. Too often people don't want to talk about pricing. And so what happens is they leave that first meeting without getting into pricing. No mention of pricing, 7% close. In the first call, if you mention pricing, close rates are 49%. Think about that. And again, 31, 40%. Now you can argue that there's no difference between these two. My point is that people like to know what their price is up front. Not mentioning price is never a good strategy. People want to know what things cost because if you walk out of there and you don't give them a price, they're going to wonder, well, what does it cost? We never even asked. We never even discussed pricing. What do we do, right? So that's not cool, right? And so that right there is awesome, man. By the way, do you guys talk about pricing right away? Because I want you to combine this with the first point, which is mention price early in the conversation or later. They recommend it later based on the data. But the point is, you got to mention pricing. Coming over here, win rates are highest. This is the last point, by the way. Win rates are highest when pricing is discussed on the first call. And again, the data just lines up. Notice the decline there, right? That's all I have for you, man. That's great data that I thought. What was mind-blowing for you guys? Tell me what you, right now, give me some feedback on what you thought was interesting. The second part is highlight how your product can be an asset now and in the future. This is where you have to increase their certainty. People are willing to invest. Now, keep this in mind. People are willing to invest. There's customers out there who are willing to invest. Right now, people are buying. Okay? So it's a matter of, can you frame the conversation so people will actually buy? And again, how can you position the asset in the future? We know things are going to turn around. And so this one, I'm going to say, how can you give them more courage? Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to give them more courage. It's the weirdest thing. Listen to me, this is interesting. I'm telling you, I got coaching clients right now. And as I'm talking to them, what I'm realizing that in many cases, it's not so much the strategy, the business plan, the go-to-market plans. It isn't that so much as they need the courage. They need me to just, talk them off the ledge. That look, we have to make some decisions. We have to be a little bold here. Markets change, got that. Conditions not right, got that. But somebody's always making money. The flow of money never stops. The flow of money never stops. It can slow down, but somewhere in your business, somebody's making money. And what we need to do is convince our customers how our products can help them now and in the future. And I think that's where you reduce some of the anxiety. So how can you give your clients some courage, man? How can you help them say, look, this is going to help you in the long run? And that's what they're looking for you to do, is to come in there and have some type of plan. So the first one was connect with them. I understand where you're coming from. I said, now, number two, now let me show you how this product is going to help you not only today, but tomorrow, especially as the markets begin to shift. Now, when I say we're done for this year, again, that's my market, the speaking training business, that's done, right? Because nobody's going to have big conferences anymore. That was a big moneymaker for me. But people were not going to get in. I mean, can you imagine just try to get into a convention center now, gather 1,000 people? Even if the government said tomorrow, okay, everybody can gather tomorrow. Everybody can just do whatever they want for conferences. People are going to be so stressed out and maybe a little leery that they're not going to show up. So I think it's going to be a while before this all comes back. So much like that, this is how I'm talking to my customers all the time. I'm telling them, look, I get it. It's not going to go back to normal. Isn't that an honest conversation? See, that's the part one, the connect. Let's have an honest conversation. It's not going to go back to normal. Done. Guaranteed it's not going back to normal. Now you know it, I know it, we know it. What are we going to do about it? Do we roll over and die? Or do we figure out a plan to go forward? And this is what they're looking for you to have those honest dialogues. And don't be afraid to challenge your customer a little bit. Says, look, it's not coming back. A lot of this business is changing. People right now are changing their market strategies, their business plans. They're pivoting because they realize it's not coming back. And the first thing to do, it's almost like the 5 stages of grieving. You know, like when somebody dies, there's the 5 stages of grieving. Jing Yi, what do you think about having monthly contests and posting weekly sales report for salespeople to keep competition within the force? Now, see this, Jing, a lot of people argue. I'm going to use Grant Cardone's team, and when I was down there, they have a leaderboard, man. The numbers are up on the board. They got these television screens. Mike Bonnet, if you're still here, man, you can talk to this. They have these big boards, and everybody sees what's going on and who's leading. And so I personally think you could do that. The way we used to do it is that every week we would have the leaderboard, right? But it wasn't a board as in a television that people can see like they do in call centers. This was at the end of the week, we did a roll-up. Who sold what, and the rankings were there. But we didn't look at it as competition because everybody had their own territory. So we started developing this camaraderie thing where if the top performer was X person, it was you, Jing, for example, and Victor's number 9, you know, the manager would say, hey, Victor, I need you to set up a meeting with Jing, maybe get some pointers on what he's doing to be successful. And then Jing would turn around and say, yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that. So we had that cooperative, competitive thing going on. And so, because it was always a win-win. Just because you won doesn't mean I lost. But if everybody started winning, and that's another thing you can do is create almost like a group quota type of thing. So you'll still have your individual ones. So I'm all for the individual quotas, individual personal accountability. But there's nothing wrong with putting together a group quota. And if you put together a group spiff, you know, a special incentive, like if the whole group makes at least this much, we all win. Now think of the situation like this, Jing. You see that I'm struggling, you're going to say, hey, man, everybody, let's help Victor because we need to get him to push his number up so we can all get this extra bonus. I mean, again, it's all about compensation structure, but I love leaderboards and competitive roll-ups like that. So I'm with you on that. I say yes.